Hello and welcome back. I recently went to the Iowa State Capitol building in Des Moines, Iowa, and I would love to share some things that I found super interesting with you that I did not know. So I went to the Iowa State Capitol building when I was in 4th grade on a field trip, and I did not retain a darn thing. Not a thing. I remember looking up at the dome and being like, oh, yep, it's gold all right. But other than that, nothing stuck out in my memory. So I went back this time and I learned some things that were so interesting and so cool, especially now that I love history. So in 1870, the Iowa legislature passed an act to create the Board of Commissioners. And their job was to select a plan for the new capital and also to authorize construction and keep the cost under $1.5 million. They didn't quite stay on budget, but we'll get to that later. I also learned that they were thinking about doing the Capitol building in either Pella, Iowa, and then Oskaloosa, Iowa was also a different location that they were possibly going to use before they settled in Des Moines. Construction on the stone foundation started in 1871 in Des Moines, and by 1873 that cornerstone already had to be replaced because it got waterlogged during the winter and it started to crumble and they had to replace it. So to this day, when you go to the Capitol, you can already see the cornerstone, Iowa AD 1873. And the original people thought that they wanted this building to last 1,000 years. That was their goal. I will never be around, but I think it's a very ambitious goal, and it has held up surprisingly well since the 1870s. But nothing prepares you when you walk in and you see the tile steps, you see the marble, you see all the woodwork, the arches, the paintings. Everything is so grand. And if you ever feel quite large someday, go stand at the top of the grand staircase and you will feel this small. This small. Everything is so, nothing can prepare you for being actually there. So do make a trip. Let's talk about some interesting facts I found out about the Capitol building. So there are 12 types of wood all throughout the Capitol, all native to Iowa except for the mahogany. And there are also 109 rooms in the Capitol building, and each one of them has their own theme and its own design. And every single room is so ornate. You walk in and I noticed the door hinges. They're not going to tell you about that. Look at the door hinges. They are so ornate and so beautiful. Just one of those random things that I noticed. There's also 298 steps from the second floor up to the top of the dome. And it is worth the trek, people. Let me tell you, you will feel so small. The Iowa State Capitol building also has 24 decorated fireplaces throughout the building, and it's approximately 330,000 square feet, built with 14 million bricks. Another interesting fact is that they originally built the Capitol building without electricity because it wasn't going to go anywhere. It was just a new invention. Who has time for that, right? And they did actually have access to electricity when they were designing the Capitol, but they weren't going to do anything with that. That was a new fad and it was just going to pass. So they didn't even bother. Until 1904, when they decided that they were going to wire it with electricity instead of gas. And a worker left a candle burning, and one of the gas lights caught the ceiling on fire in the House of Representatives, but over 200 volunteers helped extinguish the flames until the fire and police could get there. I also learned that the chandeliers are 500 pounds each and that they are taken down once a year for general maintenance. Have you ever been to the Capitol building? What's your favorite thing there, and do you remember going as a kid What stuck out to you as a kid versus an adult?